Roll for Crit here with an interesting news story. We're often talking about board games and tabletop games and how they may or may not be adapted into other properties or mediums, such as television, movies, etc. And there has been a big one announced officially. Asmodee and their entertainment division are working with Propagate, a company that produces a variety of different TV shows, to make a new show based on the board game Ticket to Ride, arguably one of the most popular board games in the world, I would say. This new show is going to be a reality competition show in which 5 teams will be pitted against one another in an attempt to rack up the most miles across land, air, and sea. That's a quote, or at least a paraphrase, the best that I can remember it. And that's really all that we know about this show. It is going to be some kind of competitive thing where it sounds like the different teams are going to be trying to go the farthest via different modes of transportation. If you don't know the game Ticket to Ride, you are trying to connect routes with trains across the United States or whatever map you may be using. There's different versions of the game, so it is a worldwide affair potentially. I know that usually when we talk about these things, I think the first thing we think of is fictional adaptations. That'd be a story, a scripted show about people on a train. They're not going that direction. What do you think?
Well, at first I'm like, weird, but at the same time I'm like, well, Ticket to Ride is a competitive board game, so they're making a competitive show. So really, isn't this the more realistic or closest comparison?
In a way, yeah. They're taking a game and making it a game show.
Now, from the description, and like we said, we don't know much, the first thing that comes to mind for me is The Amazing Race. And I know that's popular. I'm pretty sure that's on, I don't know what season that's on. But instead of everyone, I guess, closing in on a destination, it sounds like almost the opposite. Like maybe they're trying to spread out. I don't know whether they're like, go as far as you can and come back within a certain time period, so that way you can't just keep going. We'll have to know until we see more. But I think it could be an interesting way. I don't know how closely it's tied to Ticket to Ride, outside of your blue team.
Right. It's like, are there things where you have to go from a certain place to another place? Maybe it is that, in Ticket to Ride, you take different destination cards. So maybe it's like, you get 3, and you can try to complete them within a time frame and get from this place to this place.
And maybe you get bonus points for when you decide to stop. So there's like, do we want to get that first place? Is that worth it?
Yeah. The other show that kind of made me think maybe it might be similar to is Top Gear, because they've had things where they do challenges where it's like one person's in a train, one person's in a car.
Oh God! Now I imagine it's just like it's the 3. They have the 3 of them for leading each team.
If only. So I don't know. Maybe it would go that direction, because that's what I wasn't sure. Like, will they be in different types of vehicles, or will they all be going on the same? Are they all in planes? Are they flying the planes? Are they like their teams? Also, how does that work? There's a lot of questions here. But it is interesting. We also don't know exactly when this is going to premiere or on what channel. Propagate has done a bunch of different shows, none that I'm really familiar with. I think the most high profile is the Charmed reboot from recent years. But they have done some other like reality show type content. So it seems like maybe this could be, could go to Netflix, who knows. But it sounds interesting, and it's certainly, I could see this, if it's done well, being a hit. I think that the name Ticket to Ride is broad enough that it sounds like the kind of thing that could become catchy, that isn't like Arkham Horror or something that might sound obscure or niche. It's like, Ticket to Ride. I can see that.
And also, I mean, I brought up The Amazing Race. It's very popular. Successful. So
there's a formula that I guess works for a reason. Talk to us in the comments below if you have any thoughts about where you think this show should go or where it might be headed.
Will you sign up to join the show?
Yeah, I wonder what their selection process will be like. There's a lot of questions right now, but we'll see, and if nothing else, this could be the start of a lot more. What other games do we think they could adapt now into reality shows?
Well, actually, now that you mentioned Arkham Horror, my head instantly went to Mansion of Madness, but it's Legends of the Hidden Temple, so you have to go into the house.
Yeah, you're going through the mansion that way. I'm into that. Maybe, I can't think of another joke. Fill in the jokes for us in the comments, as I said. Thanks for watching. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Will.
And this was Roll for Crit.
We want you to like and subscribe, and if you have the chance, take a look at our Patreon.
Thank you for being a friend. Subscribe to our channel and back again. Okay.